the authors of the modernism. Karl Marx, 1818-1843. 18 from France in 1845, he moved to Brussels, where his political orientation matured. Marx organized the first Renaissance Democratic Congress in Germany and opposed the King of Prussia when he dissolved Prussian Assembly. He moved to London in 1849, where he spent the rest of his life. He worked part-time as a European correspondent for the New York Tribune. Nietzsche's father died in 1849 before Nietzsche's 5th birthday, and he spent most of his early life in a household consisting of the 5 women: his mother Francisca, his sister Elizabeth, his maternal grandmother, and 2 maiden aunts. He was an advocate of nationalism and anti-Semitism and power police. His name was later invoked by Francis of advanced very things he loved. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is one of the most notable and influential scientists of the 20th century. Although he became known as a genius of science and gained considerable fame late in life, Albert Einstein was more than a world-famous scientist. His name and image have come to represent genius and intelligence. Ernest Hemingway, 1961. He was educated in the public school and began to write in high school, where he was active and outstanding. He was repeatedly rejected for military service because of a deficient eyes. The writing of books occupied Hemingway for most of the post-war years. Scott Fitzgerald, 1896-1940. Fitzgerald was the only son of a successful Aristotle father and energetic provincial mother. All the time he thought of himself as the heir of his father's tradition. He became a prominent figure in the literary life of the university. He became a leading figure in the socially important Thriller Club, a dramatic society, and was elected to one of the leading clubs of the university. Ezra Pound, 1885-1972. He was born in a small mining town in the only share of a federal land official, Homer Loomis Pond of Wisconsin, and Isabel Weston of the New York City. About 1887, the family moved to the state, and in June 1889, following Homer Pound's appointment to the USA mine in Philadelphia, they settled in nearby Wisconsin, where Pound lived a normal middle class. Sherwood Anderson, 1876-1841. His prose style, based on everyday speech and influenced by the experimental writing, in turn influenced such writers as Ernest Hemingway and William Faulkner. John Dos Passos, 1844-1970. His reputation, social historian, the radical critic of American life, and major novelist of the post-war love generation rests primarily on his powerful USA trilogy. Eliot, 1888-1965. Eliot died a strong influence on Anglo-American culture from the 1920s until late in the century. Experiments in diction styles and versification revitalized English poetry, and a series of critical essays he shattered all orthodoxies and erased new ones. Ralph Farner, 1897-1962. Recruiting student, he left high school without graduating, but devoted himself to undergraduate writing. First in isolation and late under the guidance of Phil Stone, a family friend who combined study and practice of the law with lively literary interest, and was a constant source of current books and magazines. Juna Barner, 1892-1982. She wrote plays, short history, and poems. Her masterpiece, the novel Nightwood, tells of the homosexual and heterosexual love of five extraordinary people. Richard Alderton, 1892-1962. Edward Godfrey Hallington was an American writer and poet, now for his poetry about the First World War. The novel Dead hero John Cole Fletcher. He was born in Little Rock, Arkansas, to a socially prominent family, attending Billings Academy and Dover Fletcher. When Dover Fletcher went on the Harvard University from 1903 to 1907, when he dropped out shortly after his father died. William Carlos Williams. He is known of making the ordinary appear extraordinary through clear and discreet images, as in the fresh and vivid impression of the sensuous world expressed in the red Wilbur Wallace Stevens. His poems began appearing in literary magazines. 1940, Harmon, his first and most verbally young book.